Hey, Randy and Jason here on Cheap Seats, and today we're going to be visiting with an old friend, ABC's Wide World of Sports. Now, Wide World was sort of like a melting pot for all these sports that couldn't make it on their own, and these ragtag events banded together to form a mighty whole. Not unlike the band Menudo. And today we're going to be looking at 3 of these events. Here's what to look for. Here's what to look for. Now, as you watch today, you're going to want to look out for the Wide World announcers in each event. You will be able to gauge how well a Wide World announcer's career is going by looking at the event he is sent to cover. If he's in sunny Acapulco for cliff diving, things are going well. If they send him to a sweaty gymnasium in Petaluma for the wrist wrestling championships, he's the new guy. Finally, if he's in Wisconsin to cover the ice boat races in the winter outside, he was most likely caught with the network president's wife. On the network president's desk by the network president himself. So with that, we now take you out to one of the Love Boat's most popular ports, Acapulco, and a little "Oh Nelly" cliff diving with Keith Jackson.
This is Acapulco, Mexico. One of the most beautiful spots in the world, a holiday mecca for millions.
Of course, that was pre-Wide World. Here's what it looks like now.
A special attraction. The Birdmen of Quebrada, who fling themselves off the cliff into a narrow, boiling Pacific gorge.
Boiling? Are they cliff diving or making human pasta?
Along with thousands who have gathered
Thousands
here
is
at
a
the
little
Almirado
generous.
Hotel to watch.
And there's Keith. Look at how cool he is. He's like a mini Babe Ruth.
This narrow little gorge in which the competitors, Americans and Mexicans, will be flinging themselves.
Flinging? It's a little more complex than that.
This is the 4th competition. The Americans have won once. It's hot, very hot.
It's so hot, the sweat on my undercarriage could irrigate a small radish farm.
It is indeed very warm, temperature in the mid-90s. You don't just arrive here and fling yourself off these cliffs.
You don't?
Whether you're American or whether you're a native born. You graduate to it.
Majoring in danger with a minor in stupidity.
As a matter of fact, I would think that...
That kid's so young, there's no way he graduated from anything. He's the Freddie Adu of cliff diving.
Half of his life here, as a young boy, imitating his hero. For the cliff divers are indeed heroes here. There are 6 men on the teams, each man chosen very carefully for what he is about to do.
Which is to die a horrible death.
65 feet into the
off the scoreboard, off the backboard, off the rim, nothing but net.
That's the top. And for the first time, there will be no platform there for the Americans.
That's so American to need a platform.
The Americans will go right off the cliff. The captains for the Americans, Barney Cipriani. Barney, the first time you're going to go from the top...
Cipriani looks like a plump Sean Penn, or in other words, Chris Penn. Aqua Circus was the name of Keith Jackson's band in college.
That we can't afford to. We're coming here to win this year, and we want to win very bad.
As opposed to last year when we came to lose.
Mexican diving team, Raul Garcia, who has...
Where is he?
The cliff divers
there
here
he is.
For longer than he wants to admit. Both teams have changed faces. You've got some new people this year.
Naturally, and I'm always ready.
What?
He's diving. Believe it or not, he goes on, the grand old man of La Perla. How many years have you been diving?
35 years.
35 years. The coin is here. Gentlemen, would you like to flip it?
This should just take a second. Pretty straightforward.
Heads.
Barney has called heads. It is tails. Now, a decision. Whether or not you go first or whether or not you go second.
Keith, what are you doing?
Second, you have a
it's
chance
Garcia's
to make
call.
Up your mind as to what has to be done.
Well, this is his call.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Well...
Freeze it. He looks confused, Jay. All right, let's make it an SAT question.
Okay.
All right, multiple choice. What's Raul Garcia going to say? Will it be A, we'll go first, B, the Americans can go first, C, both A and B, or D, I want the best one to win, that's all? Now, using your touchpad in the front of your couch at home, make your selections and let's see how you did.
I want the best one to win, that's all.
Oh, it was D. I thought it was C.
I'm going to go second.
Come on, Keith. The man doesn't speak English.
And then send your people off. Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay.
While we're waiting for the divers to make their way...
No, here they are going to the tribal council. I wonder if they'll vote Keith Jackson off the island. No way, dude. He formed an alliance with Cipriani and Garcia.
The teams, escorted by a pretty lady.
Are they bringing the girls to Kong?
Onto the ledge. There, They stand in ceremony while a single diver
guys,
goes
it's
to the
really
cliff
high up here.
with a flaming
Plus,
torch
you know,
in each hand.
fire sticks and all. I don't know if this is such a good idea. And the water looks pretty damn far from up here, and it's dark. Go, dude, go. Go, dude, go. Go, dude, go. Go, dude, go. Why don't we just, reconvene us?
That happened last night. Now we are back to today,
hot rocks.
and here is the
Brought my
first
Tevas.
American diver.
Hot.
This is a Brooklyn boy, Rick White.
He had no choice but to become a cliff diver, having grown up on the mean cliffs of Brooklyn.
And in just a moment, he'll be standing on that little rocky perch right there, waiting to dive.
Did he say dive or die?
Rick admits.
Rick, you don't dive into the cliff.
Few hours. But he said probably none will be quite like it when I turn around and assume this position.
Whoa.
Now,
And what
5
position
judges
would
will be
that be,
watching
Keith?
him as he readies
Why
for
did
his
I
first
sign up
dive.
for this?
The scoring, you throw out the high number, throw out the low number, and multiply by 6 from the 65-foot level. That's where Rick White stands right now.
So what do I do here? Just
Diver
wait for a
for
signal?
5
Does
years.
anyone flash me a light or something? I
This is
just
the first in his lifetime.
go down towards the blue
Stage
stuff.
27.
Oh, okay.
He said he thought he'd seen everything.
Until he saw the end of his existence.
Now he's going to test himself, and from this view,
I can't imagine what's going on through Rick White's mind right now.
I can, and I think it would look a little something like this.
you see how far he's got to fly. He's literally got to hurtle out into that gorge by about 12 feet to clear rocks down below.
People of
It's
Zion,
not just a
I am
matter of Going
Morpheus.
straight down. It's a matter of reaching out. And Rick White is ready. A flying full gator, and he does carry well out into the deep water. About 12 feet of water out there.
Hey, it's the cast of WKRP in Cincinnati.
Lonnie Anderson with a 7.
Herb Tarlick also with a 7.
There's Gordon Jump.
Hey, why is Les Nessman giving him a 5?
Mr. Teddy Stauffer, Mr. Acapulco,
I
the
feel like if
Pretty
you don't
Lady,
die,
and
you should at least get a 6.
I know. All right, we'll be back with more cliff diving and cheap seats.
All right, let's see how Randy did on that last bump to break. Ooh, needs work, Randy.
I know.
Needs work.
I know.
Welcome back to Cheap Seats. Now, to get the broadcast rights for the first ever cliff diving, Roone Arledge went to the promoters, but they wanted $100 grand. And that's like 2 times the budget of the show. So then Jim McKay went to the divers themselves and got the rights for $10 a dive.
And that's why Jim McKay gets our Cheap Seats Cheap Employer of the Month award.
Now the first Mexican diver, Antonio Velasquez. He is a relative newcomer
With
to
fantastic
the international
skin.
team. He's 30 years of age, has been diving a long time. He'll do the swan.
And not very
And he
well.
hitched a little bit just before he entered the water, and that may cost him. His takeoff was beautiful. But he
Cards
hitched
at your
a little
size.
bit.
Now flash
Let's
him.
see how the judges read him.
Good.
120 points for Antonio Velasquez. You throw out the high number, throw out the low number, and multiply by 6. Team score is even at this
Wait,
point.
so you drop the highest and the lowest, and then what do you
Then
do?
you multiply it by 6.
It's like a riddle Mom would email us.
Yeah, I know. She's like, I usually don't send you these, but if you do the math, you can calculate how creative you are.
It's a good mom right there.
That is a
This
good
is
mom.
Barney Cipriani, the American team captain. And
It's really nice to see all the boats
out.
out in McCovey's Cove there. What are they waiting for?
I think they're waiting to catch some of Cipriani's balls.
Well done.
And I heard that the 2 guys who were fighting over the Cipriani record-breaking 3rd ball actually spent more in legal fees than the ball was worth.
Internationally, he came. And 114 points for Barney Cipriani.
This is the party cove after
Throw
the
out high
cops
number,
broke things
throw
up.
out the low number and multiply by 6. And when there's not room on the cliff to watch, they come by boat to watch. The temperature is very warm.
Love that
Next
that's
now, we
the
will have
on-deck circle.
I know. Where does this guy put his donut?
The rotund one.
you
who is
can't
the
tell where he
captain
puts
of
his
the
donuts?
Mexican team. 35 years he's been diving off these cliffs. As a boy, he started diving off the old whalers.
And
that
now
used to
he's
sit
an
in
old
the harbor,
whaler.
diving for
Folks.
coins.
I don't know. I see a big guy in a Speedo, and I'm thinking one thing. Dueling Carsons.
Here's Johnny.
Like it. Let's go.
There they go. And Johnny Walker again.
What? That's it!